Hello friends, welcome you all. Today in this lecture we are going to discuss the instrument of capital market. In the last lecture we were discussing about the capital market, the meaning of capital market. The capital market is a market for securities, debt or equities where business enterprises and government can raise long-term fund. So it is for a long-term fund. Then we have also discussed the types of capital market, the two segments of capital market, that is primary market and secondary market. So primary market was for the first time sale of securities, equities, and secondary market is for trading of securities that have already been issued in an initial or private or public offering. So NSE and BSE come under the secondary market. Then we have discussed about the structure of Indian capital market, different segment and types we have seen in this particular slide. Overall structure we have discussed in the previous lecture. Now in this lecture we have planned to discuss the basic capital market instrument. There are two types of capital market instruments. First is equity securities and debt securities. Under the equity securities, equity shares and preference shares come under that, and under the debt securities, debentures and bonds we can include it, included debentures and bonds. So let us start with the equity shares. What is equity shares? According to the Companies Act 1956, equity shares are the part of share capital of the company which are not preference shares. Means they are called as ordinary shares or common stock or voting shares. These shareholders are the real owner of the company. The return on equity shares depend on the performance and profitability of the company. In a nutshell, we say that the equity shares are the part of ownership. Means suppose if you have 100, if any company have 100 shares and one person hold the 5% shares, then 5% ownership is with that person. So the equity shares means the ownership, real ownership of the company. What are the merits of equity shares? A permanent source of finance to the company. It not obligation to company to return the finance collected or the fund collected through the selling equity shares. It is a permanent source of finance to the company. No fixed rate of dividend. Fixed rate of dividend is not required to offer. It is the company have sole right that it should offer or not. Then easy equity and marketability. It can be easily can be sold in the market and can liquidity obtained. Easy liquidity means it can be sell easily in the market and can convert into the cash. What are the limitations of equity shares? The equity shares no guarantee on return to shareholders. There is no guarantee that shareholders will get the returns. It can decrease, or there is no guarantee it will, he or she will get uh, the dividend on that share. Then loss of managerial control. There is no control on manager, or whatever the manager takes the decision, the company runs on the basis of that, and their shareholders have little bit role. If retail shareholders do not have any role, if we look into the practice or in a practical way. But if the shareholder controls a lot of the shares or the big percent of shares, then it can have the control over managerial affairs. But in a practical way, the manager runs the company according to the direction of board of directors. Next instrument is preference shares. What are the preference shares? Preference shares are known as preferred stocks. Preferred stock means preference shares capital has two priorities in the repayment of capital and the payment of dividend. Means those who hold the preference shares get the priority in the payment of dividend. Means firstly, preference shareholder get the dividend, and in case company liquefies, means company get into bankrupt, then in the repayment of capital, preference shareholders get the first priority. Preferred stocks usually carrying no voting right. The preference shareholders do not have the voting right, and in case of equity shares, ordinary shares get the voting right according to the shareholder holding pattern. Preference shares allow an investor to own a stake at the issuing company with a condition that whenever the company decide to pay dividend, the holders of preference shares will be the first to be paid. So preference shares have the condition that the company, whenever company decide to pay dividend, the preference shareholder will get first to be paid and ordinary shareholder will get later on. Dividend payment of the preference shareholder is fixed, and if somehow company liquefies, means it goes into the bankruptcy or it shut down its business, then the owner of the preference shares will be the first one to get their money back after the company has paid back its debt. Thus, preference shares are those shares which fulfill both the following two conditions. Number one, they carry preferential share right in respect of dividend at a fixed rate, and they also carry preferential right in regard to payment of capital on winding up of the company. Whenever company gets into the bankruptcy or it is the business of company closed, then the payment of capital firstly get to the preferential shareholders, not to the ordinary shareholders. And if in case of dividend, first preferential shareholders get the dividend and then ordinary shareholders. There are four types of preferential shares. First, participating or non-participating, redeemable or irredeemable, cumulative or non-cumulative, and convertible and non-convertible. So each one, let us discuss each of them. In case of cumulative preference shares, if in any year the profits are insufficient to pay the preference dividend, which is fixed. In case of preference shares, a dividend is fixed. So fixed dividend, if profit is not sufficient to pay the decided preference dividend, then this dividend can be paid in the subsequent year before any other dividend is paid. Means in a nutshell, we can say that right to receive the dividend goes on accumulating till it is paid. Means if 1 year company is not able to pay the dividend, then it has to pay in the next year. So it accumulate, it saves, and it can be paid in the next year. But in case of non-cumulative preference shares, the dividend can be paid only in that year. If there are insufficient profit, then such preference shareholders do not get any dividend for that year. So this is the difference between cumulative preference share and non-cumulative preference shares. Cumulative preference shares get the dividend in every year. If in a 1 year company is not sufficient and the company do not have sufficient profit, then company have to pay it in the next year. In case of non-cumulative preference shares, there is no such condition. Next type is convertible preference shares. Convertible preference share can be converted into ordinary shares on terms and conditions fixed at the time of issue of such shares. And in case of redeemable preference shares, redeemable preference shares matures in a fixed period of time, and for all practical purposes it is regarded as debt security like a debenture. So like a debenture, the redeemable preference share have a fixed maturity period, and in case of convertible preference shares, can be converted into the ordinary shares, and non-convertible preference shares cannot be converted into the ordinary equity shares. Then next types we can make that participating preference shareholders. Participating preference shareholder can earn a higher dividend than the fixed one. If the company makes good profit, participating preference shares are entitled to participate in the surplus profit remaining after the payment of fixed dividend to the preference shareholders and dividend to the equity shareholders. Means participating preference shareholders get the higher dividend if the company have the good profit and it is distributed to the fixed dividend preference shareholders and to the ordinary shareholders. So here is the benefit for participating preference shareholders. They are also entitled to participate in the surplus fund remaining at the time of winding of the company after payment of preference share capital and equity share capital. If company closed or company closes its business, then remaining capital is distributed to the preference shareholders and equity shareholders. Then also surplus fund is there. Then participating preference shareholders get the remaining surplus of fund, and non-participating preference share are not entitled to participate in the surplus profit or surplus fund left over at the time of winding up. If company closed its business, then non-participating preference shareholders do not get the surplus profit or surplus capital which is remaining after distribution, or if profit if there is the surplus of profit after payment of dividend to the ordinary shareholders and preference shareholders, then that surplus profit will get to the participating preference shareholders. What are the merits of preference share capital from company's point of view? It is a hybrid security, means there is no voting right, and only the preference shareholders have uh, the right to get the dividend, not in they cannot participate in the election of board of director. So here only the fixed dividend is entitled to the preferential shareholders. Second is absence of voting rights, that is we have discussed it, that the voting right is also matter in case of election in the board of directors. Then no dilution of control, and fixed return company have to pay, and there is no dilution of control, means there is no voting right, so preference shareholders do not have the control over company. Next is limitation of preference shares. From investors point of view, it is somewhat not secured, and not an attractive investment, because in case of preferential shareholders, the fixed dividend is getting to the preferential shareholders, and it is not attractive investment because there is no uh, voting right also, and compared to ordinary shareholders, it is not that much secure, and not an attractive investment. No right to participate in the management, so investor cannot participate in the management whatever the shares they hold. Now, what is the difference between preferred shares? The three columns we have made: preference share, equity shares, and basis of difference. So basis of difference is right of dividend. In case of preferential shareholders, the dividend is paid before the equity shareholders, and equity shareholders are paid dividend out of the balance of profit available after the dividend paid to the preference shareholder. Here the preference is given to the preferential shareholders, not to the equity shareholders, and equity shareholders get the dividend after uh, uh, dividend paid to the preferential shareholders. Next is rate of dividend. Basis of difference is rate of dividend. In case of preference share, rate of dividend is fixed, and in case of equity shares, rate of dividend is decided by the board of directors year to year. Basis of difference is convertibility. Preference share may be converted to equity shares if the terms of issue provide so. Here they can convert into the preferential shareholder can convert their share into the ordinary shares or equity shares if condition is such that, means preferential shares are convertible. In case of equity shares are not convertible. They cannot be converted into preferential shares. Basis of difference is participation in management. Preferential shareholders do not have the right to participate in the management of the company, and equity shareholders have the right to participate in the management of the company because they have the voting right. Voting right. Preference shareholders do not carry the voting right. They can only vote in a special circumstances. They do not have the uh, original right of voting in case of election of board of directors. And in case of equity shareholders have voting right in all circumstances. They have the original right. Next is refund of capital. At the time of winding up the company, preference share capital is paid before the payment of equity share capital, and in case of equity share, on winding up, equity share capital is paid after preference share capital is paid. In a nutshell, we can say that the preferential shareholders get the preference in case of company is going to winding up its business, and in the capital they get the priority, and in case of equity equity shares get the secondary uh, preference in case of dividend payment, and if company goes into the bankruptcy, so the equity shares get the capital after payment of the preferential shareholders. The equity securities and debt securities. Now equity securities we have discussed. Now we have to discuss the debt securities. Equity securities, what is the difference between these two? Equity shareholders are the owner of the company. Debt securities, that is debenture bonds, are the creditor of the company. Creditor means only providing the loan. Equity shareholders get dividend only when company earns sufficient profit, and in case of debenture bonds means debt securities, provides steady income to the investor in the form of interest. Equity shareholders have voting right. Debt securities do not have any voting right. Equity securities are not secured that much because there is the market fluctuations. The price or the value of the equity shares can decrease or increase. In case of debt securities, these are the secured in nature, means there is no fluctuation in the value of bonds or uh, what can we say, the debenture. Only the interest on that bond or debenture can be changed. In case of equity securities, share capital of the company, and in case of debt securities, it is a borrowed capital of the company. Now the debenture, the debt securities, uh, the first security is debenture. The word debenture has been derived from a Latin word, that is debere, which means to borrow. Debenture is a written instrument acknowledging a debt under the common seal of the company, and it contains a contract for repayment of principal after a specified period or at interval or at the option of the company, and for payment of interest at a fixed rate payable usually either half yearly or yearly on fixed dates. Debentures are, in a nutshell, uh, like they get the fixed rate of interest yearly or half yearly, and it is a just a contract to the contract with the company that the fixed amount which is mentioned in the debenture get repayment with the principal and interest rate after specified period of time. So it is a in the form of loan type. So it is a debenture means the loan given to the company on the fixed interest rate in the exchange of a particular security, that is called debenture. According to the section 212 of the Companies Act 1956, debenture include debenture inventory, bond, and any other securities of a company, whether constituting a charge on the asset of the company or not. In a nutshell, we can say that when a corporation is in need of fund, in addition to the share capital, it borrows money by issuing debenture, and the debenture holder gets interest which is fixed at the time of issue. These are the types of debenture. Bonds, security, in case of securities, it is a secured mortgage debenture and unsecured neck debenture, then tenure, redeemable debenture, and perpetual irremediable debenture. Mode of redemption, it is a convertible debenture and non-convertible debenture. In case of convertible debenture, there are two types: fully convertible debenture and partly convertible debenture. Uh, in case of coupon rate, zero coupon rate, deep discount rate, and specific rate is there. And in case of the registration, debentures are registered debenture and unregistered bearer debentures. These are the different types of debentures or bonds. Now there are different types of debenture: redeemable or irremediable debenture, convertible or non-convertible debenture, secured or unsecured debenture, bearer or registered debenture. So these are the types of debentures. In case of convertible debentures, uh, the debentures which are convertible into equity shares or in any other security, either at the option of the company or the debenture holders, are called convertible debentures. These debentures are either fully convertible or partly convertible. In case of non-convertible debenture, the debentures which cannot be converted into shares or in any other securities are called non-convertible debentures. Most debentures issued by the companies fall in this category. So mostly debentures are non-convertible debentures. Convertible debentures which can be converted into any other securities. Now, redeemable debenture and irredeemable debenture. Redeemable debentures are those which are payable on the expiry of the specific period, either in lump sum or in installment during the lifetime of the company. Debenture can be redeemable either at par or at premium. Means premium is extra amount to the principal, or par means at the equal amount of debenture. So the redeemable debenture says that the company have the obligation to pay the principal amount which is mentioned in a redeemable debenture after a specific period of time. And in case of irredeemable debenture, known as a perpetual debenture, because the company does not given any undertaking for the repayment of the money borrowed by issuing such debenture. These debentures are repayable on the winding up of a company or on the expiry of a long period. Irredeemable debenture do not have the undertaking from the company to repayment of money, but if the company winds up its business, or it if company winds up its business, then irredeemable debenture can get repayment of that amount, or after the expiry of long period also irredeemable debentures can get the principal amount. What are the merits of debenture? No loss of managerial control, means company do not lose the managerial control. Debenture do not have the right to vote for the company's election or management. A flexible source of finance, company can raise finance when it requires, or it can pay the borrowed amount after sufficient profit. Reduces burden of tax of the company. It reduces the burden of the tax of the company, because they have to pay interest, and it when it pays the interest, then there is no obligation of tax, or the company that have to pay less taxes. What are the limitations of debenture? It is a fixed rate on interest. Companies may have to mortgage their assets. Not an attractive investment from company's point of view. These are the limitations. There is the fixed rate on interest. The company have the profit or loss, they have to pay interest. Then companies may have to mortgage their asset also to pay interest, and it is not an attractive investment from company's point of view. Next is the bonds. So bonds are issued by public authorities, credit institutions, companies, and supranational institution in the primary market. So public authorities means government, state government and central government can issue bonds. Credit institutions, banks or any financial institutions. Then supranational institutions means the national institutions which like a development bank, NABARD, Reserve Bank of India, like that, IDBI, they can issue the bond in the primary market. A bond is a negotiable certificate which entitles the holder of repayment of the principal sum plus interest. The bond is a instrument which says that the holder of repayment of the principal holders will get the repayment of principal amount plus interest. The most common process of issuing bond is through underwriting. What are the types of bonds? First, there is the bearer bonds, registered bonds, callable bonds, convertible bonds, zero coupon bonds, and fixed rate bonds. These are the 6 types of bonds. And in a concluding remark, we can say that capital market plays an important role in ensuring the emergence of vigorous and efficient economy. So in a nutshell, we can say that the capital market plays an important role ensuring the sufficient source of capital or finance to the businesses and entrepreneurs, to the companies, and eventually it emerges as a vigorous and efficient source of finance to the businesses, and it eventually helps to the growth of economy. It facilitates the internationalization of an economy by linking it with the rest of the world. So FIIs, that is foreign institutional investors, can participate in capital market, and it facilitates the internationalization of an economy by linking it with the rest of the world. So friends, that is from my side in this lecture. See you in the next lecture. If you have any queries, questions, then you can write to me. Write your name in the comment box. Thanks for watching. See you in the next lecture.